My heart skipped a beat when Veronica slid a sleek handgun from her designer purse and pointed it straight at my chest. For a split second, all I could think was, asterisk, I'm just a rancher about to vanish. Asterisk. You'll never own this land, she spat. Your family's story ends today. She laughed, cold, mocking, hollow. Hello. But something in me clicked. I inhaled. My hands went still. And I stared her down. You're standing on Granger land, I said. This ranch has outlived wars, depressions, and worse than you. Our names carved into this earth. Veronica didn't get it. She saw me as some small-town hayseed with a rusty truck and stubborn pride. While she was busy filing phony HOA complaints and schmoozing with shady officials, I was building something else. Something she never expected. People like her always misjudge people like me. 8 months ago, I was coding apps in a Denver loft, eating Thai takeout and dodging nature. Then my parents were killed in a crash. They left me Granger Ranch, 150 acres in the Colorado foothills, in our family since 1870. I packed up, thinking I'd fix it up and sell. But standing on the porch, the cold mountain breeze in my lungs, the groaning barn doors, the low of the cattle. It didn't feel temporary. It felt like home. I didn't know ranching, just JavaScript. But Hank, our foreman of 40 years, taught me fast, saved the irrigation system from 2 near disasters. Then there was Julie Monroe. A 40-something widow next door with 2 kids and a grit that made me feel soft. She brought chili and wisdom, not pity. I started finding my rhythm. Then Veronica arrived. It was a Thursday. A black Mercedes SUV crunched up my gravel driveway like it didn't belong. Dust clung to its shine like a protest. Out stepped a woman in crisp slacks, gold shoes, and sunglasses the size of dinner plates. Veronica Holston, she said, flashing a sharp grin. President of Silvergate Bluffs HOA. I'd heard of Silvergate. A high-end subdivision creeping half a mile from my southern border. We've received complaints, she frowned toward the livestock pens. Your odors are affecting property values. I blinked. Ma'am, this is a working ranch. It smells like cows because, there are cows. And I'm not part of your HOA. Her smile thinned. We have ways of handling difficult neighbors. Then she glanced back. Trim that grass, it's offensive. A week later, the first violation arrived. Then 5 more. My barn was unapproved. My roosters, excessive noise. They fined me for running a business, ranching. I called Nate, my old roommate turned real estate lawyer. This is pure harassment, he said. They have 0 authority on your property. Then he added, but Dale Holston, Veronica's husband, he's big in development. Real connected. Be careful. So, I started digging. And I didn't like what I found. Holston Development had plans for Silvergate Ridge, a massive luxury resort wrapping around my ranch on 3 sides. They didn't hate my cows. They wanted my land. Suddenly my irrigation lines went dry, for 3 days. People claiming to be from the county took photos. My south gate was left open. Half my herd ended up on the road. Julie helped round them up. This isn't greed, she said. It's war. They bullied me too. I sold them 5 acres just to breathe. Meanwhile, Nate found something worse. Mayor Tim Reynolds approved a public easement, right through my pasture. Without telling me. They're lowering your land value, Nate explained. Then they'll swoop in with a lowball offer. Then came the call. Blocked number. You should sell, a voice warned. Shame if something happened. I'd had enough. At the next council meeting, I stood tall. Documents, maps, photos, I laid it all out. The threats. The collusion. The corruption. The mayor tried to silence me mid-speech. Until a voice from the back boomed. Let him finish. Colonel Frank Granger. My great-uncle. Retired Marine. A local legend. He stood behind me like a monument. Councilwoman Leah Kim pulled me aside afterward. You've got guts, she said. And maybe a case. The next morning, the Rockridge County Chronicle ran the story. Rancher vs. Empire, one man's fight against HOA tyranny. It exploded online. Silvergate residents reached out. One woman was fined $1,200 for planting daisies instead of HOA-approved petunias. Then came the twist. A young man in a rusty Honda approached me at a diner 2 towns over. "I'm Eli Holston," he said softly. "Veronica and Dale's son." He slid a USB drive across the table. "They've done this before. Force landowners out. Build. Flip. Move on." The drive had emails. Financials. A map. And a secret. My grandfather had placed a covenant on part of the land Veronica bought. Any commercial development triggered our family's right of first refusal. Meaning we could buy it back at 1972 market value, adjusted for inflation. I called Nate. "We've got leverage." But the Holstons weren't done. "My barn burned down, arson. Security footage wiped. Julie's water tested positive for toxic runoff, dumped by Silvergate crews. Even the sheriff's office stonewalled us. Holston money ran deep. Julie and I. We married that spring, under the cottonwoods behind the house. Her kids now help Hank with the cattle. Eli started a sustainable design firm. He rebuilt the barn. Granger Ranch. Declared a historical landmark. Untouchable. And every fall, we host the Granger Harvest Festival. Not just to honor the land, but to remind folks. This isn't a business. Not a backdrop. It's home. And this land remembers who it belongs to.